Introduction. The night descended like a heavy cloak, the sky obscured by thick, brooding clouds pregnant with rain. The air was thick with the promise of a storm, the distant rumble of thunder serving as an ominous prelude to the chaos that was about to unfold. In the heart of this tempestuous night, a tale of chilling horror and whispered secrets was poised to unravel, a tale that would send shivers down the spine of even the most courageous soul. Chapter 1. The Secluded Haven. In the depths of a remote forest, where the trees stood sentinel and the underbrush whispered secrets to the wind, there stood a solitary cottage. Its weathered facade blended seamlessly with the surrounding wilderness, as if it had grown from the very earth itself. Within its walls dwelled a lone inhabitant, Anna. Seeking solace from the relentless chaos of the outside world, Anna had retreated to this secluded haven in search of peace and solitude. The cottage itself was a relic of times long past, its timbers worn smooth by the passage of centuries. Ivy clung tenaciously to its walls, weaving intricate patterns against the weathered stone. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of age and neglect, the only sound the soft crackle of the fireplace as it cast dancing shadows upon the walls. Yet despite its dilapidated appearance, there was a certain charm to the cottage, a sense of history and mystery that drew Anna to its embrace. Chapter 2. The Unsettling Atmosphere. As the night deepened and the rain began its relentless assault upon the earth, Anna couldn't shake off the feeling of unease that settled like a heavy weight upon her shoulders. The rhythmic drumming of rain against the windows seemed to echo with a sinister undertone, and shadows danced ominously in the flickering candlelight. Though she tried to distract herself with mundane tasks, a sense of foreboding gnawed at her insides, refusing to be ignored. Alone in the dimly lit cottage, Anna found herself drawn to the window, where she stood gazing out into the stormy night. Lightning streaked across the sky, illuminating the forest in brief, stark flashes of brilliance. Each bolt seemed to cast the trees into sharp relief, revealing glimpses of twisted branches and gnarled roots that reached out like grasping fingers. It was a sight both awe-inspiring and terrifying, and Anna felt a chill run down her spine at the thought of what secrets the forest might hold. Chapter 3. The Whispering Woods. Amidst the symphony of rain, Anna's ears caught a faint, ghostly whisper, a sound that seemed to emanate from the heart of the forest that surrounded her. At first, she dismissed it as a trick of the wind, a figment of her overactive imagination. But as the whisper grew louder and more insistent, she could no longer ignore its presence. With trepidation clawing at her heart, Anna ventured outside, her pulse quickening with each step into the unknown. The forest was alive with the sound of rain, each droplet a drumbeat against the leaves that carpeted the forest floor. Yet beneath the cacophony, Anna could still hear the whispering, a soft, insidious murmur that seemed to seep into her very bones. It was a sound both familiar and foreign, like the echo of a half-remembered dream. And as Anna pressed deeper into the forest, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, that unseen eyes followed her every move. Chapter 4. The Haunting Specters. In the darkness of the forest, Anna's senses were heightened, every rustle of leaves and snap of twigs sending a shiver down her spine. And then she saw them, shadowy figures flitting between the trees, their forms barely discernible in the gloom. Eyes glinted with an otherworldly light, and fear clenched at Anna's heart as she realized that she was not alone. These spectral apparitions seemed to drift effortlessly through the underbrush, their movements as silent as the grave. As Anna stood frozen in terror, the whispering grew louder, a cacophony of voices overlapping and intertwining in a dissonant chorus. It was a language she couldn't understand, yet its meaning was unmistakable, a warning, perhaps, or a lament for sins long past. And amidst the chaos, Anna thought she caught glimpses of faces contorted with agony, eyes wide with terror. It was a sight that chilled her to the core, and she knew that she had stumbled upon something beyond her comprehension. Chapter 5. The Sinister Revelation. As Anna stood transfixed, A voice pierced the silence, a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. It spoke of ancient evils and forgotten curses, weaving a tapestry of darkness that threatened to engulf her whole. With mounting horror, Anna realized that she had stumbled upon something beyond her wildest imaginings, that the forest held secrets darker than she could have ever imagined. And with each passing moment, she felt the tendrils of its malevolence wrapping around her, pulling her deeper into its grasp. The voice spoke of a curse that had plagued the forest for centuries, a curse born of betrayal and bloodshed, of sins left unpunished and souls left to wander in eternal torment. It spoke of a darkness that lurked in the shadows, feeding on the fear and despair of those who dared to trespass upon its domain. And as Anna listened, her heart heavy with dread, she knew that she had stumbled upon something that defied all logic and reason, that she stood on the precipice of a nightmare from which there could be no escape. Chapter 6. The Desperate Flight. With adrenaline coursing through her veins, Anna turned and fled, her breath coming in ragged gasps as she raced through the forest, the rain soaking her to the bone. Behind her, she could hear the whispers growing louder, a cacophony of voices urging her to turn back. But she pressed on, driven by sheer terror and the desperate desire to escape the nightmare that had ensnared her. Each step was a battle against the darkness that threatened to consume her, each breath a prayer for salvation. The forest seemed to stretch on for an eternity, its twisted pathways leading Anna deeper into the heart of darkness. Yet still she ran, her determination unyielding even in the face of overwhelming odds. And as she pushed herself to the brink of exhaustion, she could feel the grip of the forest loosening, its malevolent presence fading into the distance. It was a small victory in the face of insurmountable odds, but it was enough to spur Anna onward, her resolve unbroken. Chapter 7. The Dawning Light. At long last, Anna burst forth from the forest, her body bruised and battered, but her spirit unbroken. As she collapsed onto the damp earth, she knew that she had faced true terror and emerged victorious. But even as she lay there, gasping for breath, she couldn't shake the feeling that the horrors of that rainy night would haunt her dreams for years to come. And as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, illuminating the world in its golden embrace, Anna knew that she would never forget the darkness that had threatened to consume her whole. Conclusion. And so, dear reader, our tale draws to a close, a tale of darkness and dread, of whispered secrets and unseen terrors lurking in the shadows. It serves as a stark reminder that even in the most tranquil of settings, evil can lurk just beyond the veil of perception, waiting to ensnare the unwary in its grasp. So heed the lesson of Anna's harrowing ordeal, and tread carefully on rainy nights, for you never know what malevolent forces may lie in wait in the darkness. Title: The Phantom of Whispering Pines, a Haunting Saga Unveiled. Introduction. On that fateful rainy night, the world seemed to hold its breath as dark clouds gathered ominously overhead. The air was heavy with the scent of impending storm, and the whispering winds carried with them the promise of secrets waiting to be unearthed. Seeking respite from the tempest, I found myself drawn to the cozy confines of a rustic tavern nestled amidst the rolling hills, where the flickering glow of candlelight beckoned like a beacon of refuge. As I stepped across the threshold into the warmth of the tavern, a chorus of murmurs greeted me, mingling with the crackle of the fire and the pitter-patter of rain against the windows. The locals spoke in hushed tones, their words laden with the weight of a tale long forgotten. The legend of Whispering Pines, a forsaken estate steeped in the shadows of a tragic past. Intrigued by the spectral rumors that enshrouded the manor, I resolved to delve deeper into the mysteries that lay dormant within its decaying walls. Setting the scene. Torrential rain lashed against the window panes with relentless fervor, painting the world outside in shades of gray. Seeking solace from the storm, I found myself ensconced in the warmth of the tavern, where the aroma of mulled wine mingled with the scent of aged wood and hearth smoke. The patrons gathered around the fire, their faces illuminated by the dancing flames, as they regaled one another with tales of the supernatural. Intrigued by the spectral rumors that enshrouded Whispering Pines, I resolved to unravel the mystery that lay dormant within its decaying walls. With a sense of trepidation mingled with curiosity, I embarked on a journey that would lead me to the threshold of the forsaken manor, nestled amidst the gnarled branches of ancient trees. The path before me was fraught with uncertainty, yet I pressed on, driven by an insatiable thirst for truth. The encounter. As I traversed the sodden path leading to Whispering Pines, a palpable sense of foreboding seized me, as though the very air was imbued with an otherworldly presence. The manor loomed before me, its silhouette obscured by the mist that clung to the surrounding landscape like a shroud. Each step I took seemed to echo with the weight of the past, as though the very earth beneath my feet remembered the tragedies that had unfolded within its midst. Crossing the threshold into the heart of darkness, I was enveloped by the musty scent of decay and despair. The interior of the manor lay cloaked in darkness, punctuated only by the feeble flicker of candlelight that cast elongated shadows upon the walls, whispering secrets of times long past. The air was thick with a sense of unease, as though the very walls of Whispering Pines held their breath in anticipation of my arrival. As I ventured deeper into the bowels of Whispering Pines, a haunting melody floated through the air, its mournful refrain echoing through the empty halls. Following the ethereal strains, I stumbled upon a grand piano, its keys untouched by human hands, yet resonating with a spectral presence that sent shivers down my spine. The music seemed to seep into my very soul, stirring memories long forgotten and awakening a primal fear that gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. The revelation. With trembling hands, I traced the ivories, coaxing forth a melody that stirred memories long forgotten. As the music swelled, the very fabric of reality seemed to warp and shift, revealing glimpses of a bygone era steeped in tragedy and sorrow. Through the ghostly apparitions that materialized before me, I bore witness to the tale of Whispering Pines, a saga of love and betrayal, of promises unkept and souls torn asunder. In the flickering candlelight, I beheld the phantom of a young woman, her eyes brimming with unused tears, as she recounted the tale of her untimely demise. Her voice was but a whisper, yet it carried with it the weight of centuries, weaving a tapestry of sorrow and regret that bound her to the manor for all eternity. With each revelation, the veil of illusion began to unravel, exposing the raw anguish that festered beneath the surface. Driven by a relentless thirst for truth, I delved deeper into the mysteries that enshrouded Whispering Pines, unearthing long-buried secrets that lay concealed within its hallowed halls. With each revelation, the very foundations of my reality were shaken, as though the boundaries between the living and the dead had begun to blur. Yet, amidst the chaos and confusion, a flicker of understanding began to take root, guiding me towards a truth that had long been obscured by the shadows of the past. The conclusion. As the first light of dawn pierced the darkness, I emerged from the depths of Whispering Pines, my soul forever marked by the echoes of the past that lingered within its walls. Though the storm had subsided, the memory of that fateful night would haunt me for eternity, a testament to the fragile boundary between the realms of the living and the dead. In the wake of my harrowing ordeal, I realized that some mysteries are not meant to be unraveled, their truths too painful to bear. And as I turned away from Whispering Pines, I vowed to carry its secrets with me, a silent guardian of the spectral realm that lay hidden amidst the Whispering Pines. For in the shadows of the past, there lies a truth that transcends the boundaries of time and space, forever haunting those who dare to seek it. And though the journey may be perilous and the path fraught with danger, the pursuit of truth is a quest worth undertaking, for it is through the darkness that we find the light that guides us home.